Hello, my wildlings, and welcome back to the Widowed Turnabout. In the last episode, we finally found a pretty glaring contradiction, and Athena has something that's been bothering her, so we're going to find out what it is. The bullet went clean through, at least according to the autopsy. So shouldn't something be at the scene that isn't? Something that isn't at the scene? A bullet? Or at least a bullet hole. Mr. Payne, where was the bullet recovered?
The bullet? Why, it was lying in front of the cabinet. There was no bullet hole in the wall, so we can assume it never got embedded anywhere.
Which means the bullet could have been moved as well. The reason for which could be explained by the lack of something at the scene. Probably the photograph of the scene. Scene shows the scene, body lays dead, face down from the window, there are no blood splatters. That's probably what it is that we need to be looking at then. The victim's wound should have produced a sizable blood splatter, and yet I cannot see one in this photograph.
Was one found at the scene?
No, Your Honour. I don't think the forensics department was even called in.
Why not?
What do we pay you hosers for?
Your Honour, I might have a solution. What do you think, Emma? Ah, good old Sky.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Wright. I have a supply of Luminol just for the occasion. Lumi what?
Figures. He may be a glamorous fop, but had Clavier remained in charge, we would have looked into this already.
But no, and since I'm just a stupid detective, I can't use Luminol whenever I want.
Oh, great job, you got her snacking again. But the fact is that blood stains may yet be found. Your Honour, I request that we send Miss Sky out to the scene and have her run a few tests. If it's the forensic work you want doing, you know I'm ready for it. These glasses will allow me to see any luminol reactions at the scene. Just leave it to me.
I don't see why not. All right then, let's give Miss Sky her chance.
I'll head right over. You'll hear back from me the moment I find something. Guys, I found her diary. Apparently she did have a crush on Mr. Incent. Oh my gosh. We waited for a little while, giving time for Emma to reach the scene. Thankfully, Emma wasted no time and was soon able to give us her report. Well? Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Emma? Mr. Wright, I've got something over here. A sizable blood spatter, just under and around the window. It definitely came from the victim, and it definitely wasn't from my victim, and not definitely the victim that you have in your case. There's no other victims here. Everything's fine. This confirmed that the victim was shot from within the apartment. The bullet was moved to make it seem like she'd been shot from the window. What's more, the body was also moved to face away from the window to achieve the same effect. Then the blood splatter was cleaned to keep up the illusion. We had thought the victim died where she was found. But this is where she actually fell. Dun dun dun. Gotcha now, boy.
Yes, this does seem increasingly likely. But, Mr. Wright, I have one question.
Oh, no.
The victim had no powder burns, as I understand it. But if she was shot from directly behind, surely there would be a burn.
What if the culprit stood in front... What if the culprit stood in front of the cabinet?
No, there's still too little room to manoeuvre.
Exactly, so there's no error in my testimony? Perhaps. So my question is this. Where was the victim shot from?
Where was the culprit standing, in other words? Your Honour, the culprit was here. Right where the cabinet was.
But there's a cabinet there.
It seems Mr. Wright has finally cracked. But there's no way anybody could have been standing there.
Actually, there is a way.
Oh, shit.
What? There is a way that the culprit could have been standing there, and this is my proof. There is a large indent in the carpet in this photograph. Boop. In this photograph, there's a large indent in the carpet. The size and shape looks like it would match that of the cabinet. If the cabinet wasn't there at the time of the murder, then somebody could have easily stood there. And with that extra distance, there may have been no powder burns left behind. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Oh, way to rip his lies apart, boss. Yeah, but it's not over yet. Now I just need to bring it home and nail the true killer. As previously stated, the body was moved post-mortem to face away from the window. Likewise, the cabinet was moved to further sell the false story. Which means the witness was correct when he said his wife was looking out of the window. And his attempt to backtrack was to cover up his mistake.
But why would the witness lie? It was his own wife's murder.
I think the answer lies in the true killer's identity. Mr. Lovelace himself.
What? What?
Yes, I mean, how did you not work this out earlier? Have you seen the guy? He's probably killed people before as well. Just look into his eyes.
Well, this case has taken a turn. I'm not sure how to feel about that.
You really are just trying to make him say a boot as much as possible, aren't you? Your Honour, this entire crime was set up to look like the victim was shot from the outside. All to cover up the grim reality. Mr. Lovelace was the one who killed his own wife. And he put a lot of effort into framing my client for that very act. Indeed. This was the true appearance of the scene of the crime. Mr. Lovelace is the only person who could have killed the victim.
This is absurd. How can this be?
However grim the truth, it is the truth. And it proves my client's innocence. Oh, here we go.
So you're accusing me, are you? Are you sure about that?
I have no reason to doubt my own reasoning.
In that case, let me give you one. I did move that cabinet. The moving of the day of the morning of the day of the murder. Before the murder took place.
Can you prove that statement?
Can you disprove that statement?
That which can be ascertained without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. So, yes, I just did.
The burden of proof is yours, after all.
That's not how that's supposed to work, but sure.
Gah! It would appear the defense has come up short. Does it have any further questions? Otherwise, I must end this cross-examination of the current witness.
Boss, we've come too far to fail now. There must be something.
I know.
But what should I ask about? The scraps of paper?
No.
I'm betting that those scraps of paper had something to do with the case.
I don't see how. They're just scraps of paper. They have nothing to do with the case.
Then why did you feel the need to mention them during your opening statement?
Why did you feel the need to mention them just now, eh?
Because, the gun then, fine. I would actually like to know more about the murder weapon. It had no prints, but what about a barcode? Could it have been a stolen police weapon? And if it is, could we discover who stole it?
No such thing was found on the weapon. It is illegally made and illegally used, as far as we can tell.
I suppose we'll press this further in the next episode. And I'll see you all then. Goodbye, good night, and good luck.